These have all been cleared before we're in the classroom, so you make sure it's cleared of ammunition. Cleaning procedure for Glocks, if you get issued a Glock on our course. It's going to be a brief one, but just what you're going to be doing when you come onto a course. With a Glock, there is a technique to release the slide first. So to release the slide on Glock, there's a few different ways, but the way that we tend to do it is you hold the pistol in your sort of thumb. If you've got a sight, great. If not, you can still hold it the same way. All your hand comes over the top, and when you're pulling the slide back, you're listening for just this little, I don't know if you can hear that, there's like a lip that you fall over. You pull it over the lip, and then on both sides of the Glock, you've got these little release catches. These on both sides. These both have to be pulled down simultaneously to release the slide. Now, you can pull the trigger first. I don't tend to do that. I tend to just pull it back, pull both of these down, let go, and when you pull the trigger, it slides off the front. So you've got your upper and your lower. You can clean the hell out of these things, but they don't tend to get too dirty unless you've got loads of sand in there and stuff like that. But if you do need to, we'll go through that anyway. That goes to one side. To dismantle, so this, if you can see there, we've got loads of like brass, like shrapnel type dusty stuff on top of here. That's part of the casing and part of the bullets. Now you can take these apart into millions of pieces, but we don't do that on these courses. We just give you sort of the basic size. The spring, take a good look, make sure you know what it looks like. If you need to take pictures, take pictures. Pull the spring out. Barrel then just slides out. And they're your four components that we tend to clean. Like I said, you can take all this apart as well, but we don't go that far on a basic course. Most advanced courses we do, but not on a basic, okay? And that's pretty much it. Now that you've got those bits, we've got two different things that we use. We've got brake cleaner or gun cleaner. They're both the same thing. We tend to use brake cleaner most of the time because it dries quicker. The whole goal of cleaning them is to take all the grease, all the oil off it, and all the dust and residue with it as well. But then you got to re-oil it, okay? And we like to use brake cleaner mainly because it dries really quickly once it's gone on, right? If you use other cleaners, what can happen is it lingers too long. And then when you put the oil on the pistol again, or the rifle, the oil dilutes into the cleaning fluid, it doesn't work again, okay? So all we do with this stuff, we'll do the lower. We'll do it anyway. One thing to remember, it doesn't have to be shiny. Not all these pieces are meant to be shiny. So you use the cleaner and we give it a little blast in certain areas that have got some working parts. Once you have got that, you can use brushes if you want to give it an aggravate and get rid of any of the sort of heavy-handed stuff. Okay, so once you've given that a good clean, you've used your cleaner, don't put any oil on it yet. We'll do it all together towards the end because we've got two rags, a clean one and a dirty one. Use the dirty one throughout first and then go from there. Now these three parts tend to do more at the same time. So you've got your slide, your barrel, and then your spring. Take a look down your barrel. This one isn't too dirty to be honest anyway, but give the inside of your slide a little blast, and the outside, get rid of any oil that you've got there. Your spring, your barrel, inside the barrel as well. Use your dirty rag that you've got and just give it all a really good wipe. Once you've given it all a clean and a wipe down, great. So everything looks nice and dry and clean. So there's no grit, there's no more of that brass and that dirt and the grime and the carbon that was building up in there. Great. Now, oil. Now, we're not gonna over oil anything. To be completely honest, these will work without oil. Oil is just a protective barrier between two metal surfaces. That's all it is, and it prevents rust and the duration of it. These do work without any oil, absolutely, but they work smoother and it prolongs the pistols and the rifles when you use oil. But when we're using oil, I will put a little bit on my lower because I did use some cleaner on it. Once I've done that, that's fine. Now, we tend to I'll go for the spring first. The springs are in two parts. You've got like an inner and an outer spring. You want to lubricate the inner bit, not the outer bit doesn't have any friction on it. It's the inner bit that frictions sort of against itself, if you see what I mean. So in between the rungs, just give it a tiny bit, just here and there, don't soak it. So when you're putting oil on, put a tiny bit on your glove, rub it between your fingers, and then rub it on the barrel. And if you can see, that there is literally all it is. If it looks wet, it's too much, okay? It just needs to have a slight shine to it. That's it, done and dusted. On these bits, the friction is in the guides and the rungs. It's not here. There is some touch here, but that's not where you need it. It's down these rungs. So what I tend to do, there's two parts. You've got a front and a back because there's a gap where the slide lock is here. Face it towards the bottom, into halfway, if you can see that. Drop the oil in and it will start to run down. To see that on this side, put that in, give it a squeeze, and it will start to run itself down. Let that run down. Give it some encouragement with your finger if you want. There you go. Same on the front. Let it dribble down. Let it dribble down. Okay, I'm gonna start putting it back together. So simple, slide, barrel, goes in one way. Spring also goes in one way. And let's make sure that we put it on the correct notch. If you looked when you took it apart, you'll know, but you compress the spring and it sits nicely. Now, this is the important part. We don't want to slam these things on and just assume you've done it right, okay? So what we want you to do when you start to put them on is I'm gonna take it all the way on and lock the slide to the rear nicely and carefully. I'm finding the guides, so these are the rungs, the guides, finding it, there it is. And when I'm putting it on now, I'm feeling for grit and I'm feeling for anything that restricts me from going too far, just in case I've got something wrong. So I'm gonna come all the way on, nice and easy, and lock the slide to the rear. That felt okay to me so far. Don't just go chink and do a full systems check because you might have got it wrong. Nicely give it some. I don't hear any grit, I don't feel any grit, and just make sure you build up to full function. In case you do that and it goes fling and flies off and it mixes with other people's bits. And as you can see, my spring has started to lube itself up now, all around the insides of it. It sounds smooth, great. And then we want to then finally just check the whole thing over to make sure that everything's working. So does my slide catch work? Yes. Does the release work? Yes. I got a bit of oil that squirted on my G-Fuel that then as well. Bit of oil that's going first, so a bit too much oil on that one, so we'll give that a wipe anyway. Does my trigger work correctly? Yes. Does the sear work? So crack it, let go slowly. Do you hear a click? Yes, it does. We also want to make sure that the mag catch works. We get an empty, make sure you got an empty mag. Mag goes in, that sits. Mag catch and release works. There's a slide lock to the rear. Yes, it does. Is it stiff to push down? Yes, good. So that's in good working order. Now, if you've got a pistol that then looks like that one, so I should have taken my gloves off when I did this. I'll take one off because I've got a rifle to do anyway. I want to make sure that I get rid of all the oil from the outside. You can now directly spray the cleaner back on it, I'll take rid of the oil, but what will happen is it'll go inside and you'll get rid of the oil. So what I tend to do is using your dirty rag, spray it, so you get a little bit of moisture on it, and then give the whole thing, so you go from looking like this, where it's shiny and wet. Once you give it, wipe on the outside, especially your grip area as well, making sure your actual grip hasn't got any oil on it. Okay, so now that I've given all that a good clean, and I've given the outside a wipe over, you've gone from a really shiny surface to a dull surface, and that's what you want it to look like. And there's oil on the inside where it needs to be. It's worth mentioning as well that when you are using brake cleaner particularly, try not to get it on the glass of the optic because you can strip the coatings off them. It's sometimes impossible to avoid sort of splash overs, but don't and give it a rub down. Use glass cleaner, actual glass cleaner for that if you have got it. But on our courses, not everyone is going to be getting an optic anyway, because we want you to understand iron sights and stuff first. But that's pistols.